Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Puppet.
I'm your host, Victor Santana. To the left of me, I got my boy, Drew, the beer guru.
What it do, baby boo?
And then, of course, you got the myth, the legend, Ziggy.
The Phenom.
Oh, we got to add the Phenom.
Hello, everybody.
Two-time world champion.
Not one, not two, not three, not four, not
Just
five.
Only two. Only two. Two-time. No.
No, we got a quick conversation about net neutrality before the show, and it was pretty interesting. Like, there's a lot of information about it. I'm gonna be very clear. I don't know a lot. I try to read up on it. I try to get more information. It's been something on public radar for 2 years now. So I've heard about it first 2 years ago, and then I try to like forget about it, but it keeps popping up. So I try to read on it, and I'm one of the people say I'm on the fence about it. I can see the good part of it. I see a good part against it, and I'm like, if it gets repealed, who cares? Andrew's on a different stance on it.
Yeah. I'm for keeping net neutrality.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm all I'm saying is, I look at the numbers and the statistics article I read. Is it right? I don't know. I'm not an investigative journalist. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But they cite their sources, and I followed their sources, and seemed right. The numbers seemed legit as far as growth on cell phone companies, because that was the article comparison: cell phone companies' growth and innovation versus what supposedly might happen with internet providers. I had a brain fart there. Hold on.
Yeah. I just don't think it'd be beneficial, but we'll see what happens. It looks like it's gonna be repealed anyways, but I think they're gonna appeal it, so we'll see how it goes after that. But yeah, I don't think overall it's gonna be beneficial to us as consumers, and especially since a lot of stuff's shifting towards kind of internet based, like streaming services are like all the rage and stuff nowadays.
Yeah, true.
So
But no one knows. No one. This is the thing. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
Anyone who's for net neutrality really don't know. Anyone who's against it really doesn't know. Right. That's why I was talking to Andrew. I believe in the numbers, the data on it, on free market data versus keeping net neutrality. Like, I don't know. Any liberal source you say that says they have the information, that's a lie. They don't know. I've watched plenty of YouTube. They don't know. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of what ifs, right?
We'll see. And I know you're a big fan of the streaming services.
I am an avid YouTuber watcher.
Well, that you also got multiple paid ones that you have, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Streaming subscription. So I'm saying like
I stream on my phone constantly. So that's the part of the reason why I believe the article, because when they provided the data of cell phone plans from the 90s, where you had to pay per minute, you had out overnight, like, remember, 9 o'clock, okay, don't call me till 9 because then my minutes are free.
Yeah,
like, everybody remembers that.
It's shifted. Yeah, now it's all like a data driven stuff.
But
so
what the data showed is that I forgot the law they got in place to allow it to be more of a free market, where Singular couldn't dominate the East Coast like it was doing, all the way down to here where they had Bell, and it was Bell, South Bell,
Southwestern Bell.
There it is. The data showed like Southwestern Bell had the South, Singular had the East, Northeast.
Yeah, what was it? Southwestern Bell, then merged with AT&T. Then AT&T merged with Singular. Used to have my first cell phone was from Singular, so I remember that.
Same here, but
little orange guy.
Yeah. But see what happened was, again, forgive me, and I don't remember the article, but if you look it up, try to look up statistics on it, you'll find it, or just look up Singular history or the law, whatever. The Singular owned in Southwest had a big market of it, right? And then they allowed it to be open market. A small company like AT&T came around and started buying out everybody. Bought Southwestern Bell, bought Singular, and became a monopoly for a while. But then Verizon came, right? Verizon changed the way it said talk for free.
Yeah.
And then Sprint came along and had that chirp shit. I don't know what it was called. You remember?
Yeah, that's Nextel stuff. That's
for construction companies.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Ziggy? What's your take on net neutrality? Do you want to kill the internet like Victor does?
I am personally very worried about it.
Okay.
The fear is not that ISPs will start charging consumers more, because now they kind of have the freedom, the latitude to charge where they want to charge. My fear is more that they will start charging content creators to allow whoever wants faster access to them. Does that make sense?
Like sponsors, do you pay for?
No. So when net neutrality first kind of came into the public sphere about 2-3 years ago, there was a different narrative around it than there is now, because now the worry is internet ISPs are going to start charging people like $5 for video streaming and $5 for social media streaming and $5 for text-based website streaming, and they're going to break it up like that. When it first came around, the worry was what they're actually going to do is they're going to go to the websites themselves and say, we're not going to charge our customers more. What we're going to do is we're going to go to you, the website, and say, if you want your website to work quickly for whoever comes here, you have to pay us a certain amount of money so that when people come to your website, it works at a certain speed.
Which, of course, they always pass the cost on down to the consumer at some level or another. I mean, they're going to raise their prices too.
And that's what I worry about, because we are a startup media company. We are a small internet radio company. And, you know, costs like that, I don't know how they would play out, honestly.
But who's gonna cost what? Who's gonna pay for what? Like, my thing is, perfect example is YouTube. You could pay for YouTube, Red, to get no advertisement, but you don't have to, right? So where does the cost fall down to the consumer on YouTube if whatever provider says, hey, YouTube, you have to pay more? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying, because you can basically still function YouTube, but you just have to sit through the ads.
But even that, like, who's gonna?
But I mean, at the same time, so you also like, so it's like some of it's like speed based, so just like loading up stuff, and stuff like that, and so I mean,
I feel like I this is my thing, and like I said, if it stays, I don't care. Cool. The way it works is working now, right? I'm fine. Internet's fine. Do we have the best internet in the world? No, in America, kind of have middle of the line.
Whoa, bro! This here's America, man. We got the best.
Honestly,
we're the land of the free.
But this is
the
the reason.
home of the brave.
This is the reason why
America.
America.
This
is the reason why we have middle of the line, and we're a beer show. We're gonna get to the beers here. We got 3 beers.
We do. After Victor kills the internet, we're gonna get to these beers.
But we're part of like the internet. We're trying to grow our services on internet, right? But the thing about it, how I think is when it comes to it all, I feel like if it stays, nothing's gonna affect us. If it doesn't, I feel like in time it will get better. It's all up depending on what happens, right?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I don't know.
So, moving on
but
to
you have to pay attention to it, right? You have to. Before we go on, all I say, everything has to be paid attention to. You have to pay attention. Everything has to be put on the table. Companies have to provide their information on what they're doing, which because if they're a public company, they have to. So
we'll see how it plays out. But like I said, moving on to another topic, we do, for those of you who watched the show last week, we did have a beer on that Victor was in love with. It was the Santa's Butt Porter.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah.
So that was from a particular brewery called Ridgeway Brewing, based out in England. Mm-hmm. And so Victor, unbeknownst to the fact that that brewery,
all the same brewery,
picked up 3 more beers from that same brewery.
4
total, right? Including the one from last week.
Yeah.
So he got a total of 4, all from the same one. So he's giving them 3 more shots to redeem their good graces with you, right?
Well, mostly because it's because it says a porter. Now we have 3 beers. We have the one to my far right is Reindeer's Revolt. It seems pretty cool. The one in the middle here is
Lump of Coal,
which it says dark holiday stout, but right underneath in the bottom line it says English ale. So I'm confused. Is it English ale or is it dark stout?
We'll give it a try. We'll see what we can find out.
And then the very last one is a special reserve ale.
This is Very Bad Elf. So we'll give him a shot. Which one you want to start out with first?
Let's just go. Let's do the one I'm concerned about the most because my style of beer is my favorite. I enjoy stout, so we're gonna go with the Lump of Coal, which also has the best name.
That's a good name. Yeah, I remember when you first brought that up. You said, "Yeah, we're going with this one, Lump of Coal." And I thought to myself, that is a great name for a stout.
I mean, if you have stockings, right, and I gave you coal in your stockings, like you put the Lump of Coal in there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You say you get a lump coal, and this is maybe, hopefully, if it turns out to be a great beer, it's kind of lump coal you want in your stocking, right?
Exactly. So Ridgeway lump of coal. It says 8%. Ooh,
it's got an interesting smell to it.
I don't like that. I don't like interesting.
You don't like interesting?
Okay, it's not that interesting. It's a good smell. It's a typical stout smell. A little lighter. These lights show all my imperfections. How white I am. It's a good smell. It's a good solid stout. My concerns is a little less prevalent now because the English ale kind of threw me off.
What do you got against the English?
Nothing wrong, but I mean, I want a stout. I don't want an English ale.
Well, looking at its roll, it's pretty dark, real amber in color.
Yeah, a little lighter than, like I said, a little lighter, but still dark.
Pretty
beer.
clear. Let's give it a little taste. It's pretty solid. It tastes more like what you're thinking of when you think of a stout. It's
not taste like a stout. It doesn't. It's not. It's. You said it perfectly. It's kind of a weird mixture of two beers, like a brown ale and a wannabe stout.
Well, I mean, there's all different types of stouts. I mean, there's different, maybe the type of stout you're kind of used to or that you're more familiar with, but I mean, it's still technically be a stout, but it's got this is an interesting taste to it. Like it's got kind of like that. How do I put this into words? Oh, words.
You lost for words for the first time ever. I mean, it just doesn't taste. It's not impressive.
It's got like a roastiness to it.
Again, yeah, like the porter, right?
Kind of a little bitterness, but it's got like there's this taste to it almost. And I don't want to describe it like this because it doesn't sound like glamorous or anything. But
say it.
It almost has like a
creamy mouthfeel.
No, it like a almost like a straw kind of taste, like hay straw, like taste to it. Like get a little sample of that and tell me if you get like a little bit of what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's fitting that I have it in a Beta cup mug because a Beta has very clean beer. It's very smooth beer. This feels muddy, like it's a muddy taste, a muddier taste of beer.
Yeah, it's got like kind of like a roastiness to it that I think you're talking about.
It just feels like a lot going on here. A lot of roastiness note to it. It's nothing stands out to it. What do you think, Zach? Like, do I got a lazy eye? It looks like I got a lazy eye for a second.
It's I like this one, guys. I really like this one. It's full.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got a little thickness, a little heartiness to it. It's got a little bit of bite to it. I like it.
Yeah,
definitely has a bite to it.
What's the alcohol on that one?
8%, man.
8%. Okay.
Can you bring it back on the screen? Like it threw me off for 8%. I was very shocked. Other beers by Ridgeway. Oh, that's other beers.
Got a big collection.
A huge collection. Man, I would say judgment for the next two beers. I just might not be a fan of the way they make their porters and stouts. I'm just not a fan. It's very roasty and it's nothing wrong with that in a stout. I just not my cup of tea.
I think overall I'm giving it a thumbs up. Yeah. It's there's not a whole lot I'm a big fan of like kind of like coffee notes and chocolatiness. I don't get as much of that. I do get kind of like a roasted notes. I keep saying that, but it's good. It's a good beer. It's good.
Chestnuts
roasted
on an open fire, maybe.
Only open fire.
It might be for a Christmas thing. They might be doing that for a Christmas thing. I don't know. Like, listen, it might be true.
Yeah. But I give it a thumbs up.
I give it for me. No.
We need to start getting like little signs that have like a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
A drink it or a pass. Like,
well, everyone's gonna drink it. I mean, come on now.
You can't turn down, especially if someone buys you a drink. Like here,
yeah,
it's like I'm gonna drink it. I don't like it. A one-time drink.
It's like think about when you're a kid and your mom's like, "You're drinking that," or you're eating.
You're gonna drink this beer.
Sorry, mom, I didn't mean to give you up. No, like whenever you're sitting at the table, she's like, you're like, I don't like this food. Eat it. That's what you're served.
Do it. No, you know what?
There's a starving kid in China that would love that beer.
Yeah,
facts.
Drink it up.
Facts. We could have it. get buy me another one or a one-time drink sign. Come with something.
Yeah. Oh, I got one. We can do like a dry erase board. Come up with your own one on the fly.
I will lose. I'll just be like, pass. I'm not creative. I am not the creative one in the group.
Or just we could do an emoji one. Though.
Ooh, emoji ones.
Really appeal to the millennials.
Us?
Dabbing on them, you know.
We're like the tail end of millennials.
Destroy all bacteria.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen those signs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
I like the emoji idea for us. Oh, anyway, listen, give this beer a shot. Excuse me. If you want like a holiday based theme, or if you're doing what's those
Advent calendars.
Advent calendars, throw it in there. Holiday stuff, throw that in there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid beer overall. It's not my favorite stout by any means, but it is. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. Yeah. Would I probably buy it again? How do I describe it? It doesn't stand out to me a whole lot, but it's a solid beer. And I kind of felt the same way about the one we had last week, the Santa's Butt, the porter. It drank real smooth and it was good, but at the same time, for me, nothing to really shake a stick at.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was good, but it was a solid beer. But probably wouldn't go out looking for that. It's not one that I'm like, okay, I gotta go get me one of those. You know?
Yeah. Again, we fall into that category. Like, if I buy you a beer, will you drink it? Yeah, but will you buy it on your own? No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't buy this beer. But definitely if someone passed it to me, I'm like, fuck, I'll drink it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, porter and stout, which is my favorite style of beer, falls short with this brewery so far. But we have two other ones, so we'll see. They could come back and shoot bat for 500. We'll see. I was gonna say shoot bat. I was going everywhere with that.
Yeah,
that's kind of stupid.
They got one out of they're 0 for 1 right now. Batting with you.
0 for 1? No, 0 for 2.
Oh, true. Yeah, I'm talking about for this week. But yeah.
Oh, this week, yeah.
Yeah.
0 for 2, right?
0 for 2, yeah, overall. So
yeah. We'll see. I mean, I might like their other ones, the ales. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
I'll pick. I think we're gonna go with the one over there by you next. That one sounds good.
The Reindeer Revolt. I like the name though.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, these pictures on it is legit. For the Reindeer Revolt, like.
Yeah, I think in general, it wasn't so much the beer hasn't won you over, but the advertising has definitely won you over.
That's advertising time of year, like it's got me.
It works. It works.
What's the style? It says
bitter.
Bitter.
That is the style.
So the
Fair
Christmas
enough.
ale.
If you're looking for something to drink to escape the drudgery of the holiday season, this would be the beer for you. Perfect for, say, relaxing on the beach with a coconut in one hoof and a beer in the other.
Can you click that link up there at the top where it says The Brothers? See that? Yeah. I want to see. You need to explain to them, Victor, why you hate their beers.
I can tell why they don't know beers.
Look at that, man. That man's double fisting. He deserves your praise.
We go back to the other brother with messed up hair? That guy.
That was it. Tommy Wiseau
from Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Yeah,
that's how he made his millions.
Yep. So,
who are you guys? Wait, did it ask me a question? Who are you guys?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a Q&A for questions about the brothers.
Oh, Ziggy, I know we're a big movie buff. I found out about The Room a few years ago, and I tried to watch it and never really finished it. I watched bits and pieces over the years. But I'm really fascinated about the Disaster Artist that came out with Jane Franco
and Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is part of the movie, but Jane Franco directed it.
It's my boy Seth Rogen.
What do you feel about The Room or the Disaster Artist, the movie that came out?
So I'm not that interested, honestly. I'm not a. I've seen bits and pieces of The Room, and I have kind of made it a point to not watch it.
Mm-hmm. The acting is stellar, though. So
yeah, no.
I enjoy it.
Not really.
I don't really.
I like. There is something to say about. There's a difference between making a bad movie to make a bad movie and making a bad movie while you are sincerely trying to make a good movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens with stuff like The Room and Troll 2, and that's why they're so intriguing. But
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I will fight you.
No, the movie, the real live action.
Dragon Ball Z. No. They were not trying to make. They were not sincerely trying to make a good movie.
They're trying to steal some money.
That's why the scriptwriter officially apologized to Dragon Ball Z fans for that movie. But I just, that's not my type of bad movie that I like. Like I love horror movies that sincerely think that they are gonna be awesome and just absolutely are not.
Just eat it.
Yeah. So I like that type.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the acting in it, in like bad dramas, that is so grating, and I'm kind of an impatient film goer in general, where I hate American dramas. I will watch a Japanese or a Korean drama, no problem, even if it's bad. There's something about the pacing there that I can buy into, but American dramas I'm not much of a fan of, even when they're done well. So when they're just like terrible, I just can't sit through. Like it's the thing of, I have better things to do with my time that it makes me so viscerally angry that I am wasting it watching this piece of trash.
Oh,
See,
man.
I'm the same way, but I try to double down on my time, where I try to do multiple things at once while watching a movie.
So you were watching the movie 50 Shades of Grey while you're reading the book 50 Shades of Grey.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they say men can't multitask, you know?
I try to. I'm not good
Well,
at
he's
it.
only reading the book with one hand.
Facts. Facts. No, I like bad movies. You know what my favorite bad horror movie is, Ziggy? Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2.
Oh man, you're kidding me.
No, I swear to God, the second one's my favorite because they doubled down on the nonsense.
Okay, I would argue that Slumber Party Massacre, the original, is an objectively good movie.
It's a bad good movie.
No, no, it is not a bad good movie. I think the original Slumber Party Massacre is an objectively good.
I enjoy
movie.
it. I enjoy it. We were talking about at work the other day. I enjoy.
Not me. I've never seen any of these.
It is.
It's
great.
a good movie.
I have the most amazing story about Slumber Party Massacre, actually. So
go ahead, man. I want to hear it.
So there's this new trend that I'm a big fan of, where they take old horror movies, and there are a couple of distribution companies that have come and bought the rights to them and have started issuing Blu-ray releases.
Oh.
So these like really gory, trashy, terrible horror movies it's like in full HD. It's amazing. One of the movies that they released is the whole Slumber Party Massacre series. And so this year for October, one of the things I do is I always go and look at the new horror releases and buy a couple of them, because I'm a really big fan of Halloween. And so this year I went to Movie Trading Company, and they had that, and I had all these other horror movies in this giant stack, and I go to check out, and the cashier is this very attractive young woman, and she and I are flirting, and, you know, we're having a good time, and that doesn't usually happen to me, so I'm in, like, a really good mood. And then the movie at the bottom of the stack is Slumber Party Massacre. Up until this point, all these horror movies that she's checking out, not a problem. She gets to the bottom movie, scans it in, sees it, does not say a word to me for the rest of the transaction. Just like immediately shuts down.
Like she got creeped out by it?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. And I'm
she had
like,
a bad experience.
You know what? If I was you in that situation and I saw someone like me buying a movie called Slumber Party Massacre, I would also stop flirting with me. Like, I understand that.
Do you think?
What?
Do you think she just didn't
No.
like? She was scared to spend the night at that point, maybe for fear of her life, or what?
Oh yeah, no. I think in that moment she's like, okay, this man's a serial killer.
No, it's some. Can we play it? I want to play the trailer for Slumber Party Massacre 2 because it's my favorite trailer of all times. But I enjoy the first two. I've never watched part 3. I think they're up to 5 total.
I think that's right, but the 5th one has not been released on Blu-ray, I think.
Okay.
Interesting.
I only watched the first 2, and I'll never forget. I enjoyed the first one to the fullest, but then the second one comes out, and they just double down on the nonsense.
Yeah.
And the trailer shows that, so it is
I have to give
absolutely.
it a watch because I have not seen a single one.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Well, I'll tell you what. In the meantime, let's crack open that Reindeer's Revolt over there, sir.
Reindeer's Revolt.
While we pour this beer, we will go ahead and play the trailer for Slumber Party
Oh my
Massacre
god,
2.
I'm so excited.
Let's check
I have
this
not
out.
been this excited in a while.
Let me see what all the hype is about.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's good.
Courtney Bates has got some weird friends.
I have got the fastest growing bit I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, look at this thing.
I think your sweetheart's been taking too many diet pills.
Here's a chicken sandwich if you want it.
She should have listened to her sister.
Go all the way.
Because when she and her band get ready to party,
Do anything you want to. Good time on the Slumber Party Weekend.
it's more than just a great time.
I didn't know girls really did this stuff.
It's Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Now it's time for the fun part.
He's in this house somewhere.
It's 9 o'clock and you're ready to rock. My motorcycle's out of hop. Jump on back, get the hold on tight.
Bastard. You killed Valerie.
Don't let go. Don't let go. Hold on tight. Well, you say why? I say because Les
Slumber Party Massacre 2. If you go, don't go all the way.
God, anybody got any tranks?
All right.
Listen. That is me and my cousin used to watch that all the time. It's the greatest horror movie of all time.
I don't think I'm missing out on much, and I don't think I missed out on much. So, I mean, I could see that it's like real cheesy, and if I'm watching something, I'd rather watch like Leprechauns
In the hood.
in the Hood, something like that.
So, but think about it. The funny thing about it, if you watch them back to back, 1 and 2, 1 is trying so hard to be like a really compelling
Legitimately like horror movie.
Yeah, it was really compelling. It was really trying, but it was bad.
Yeah, no, 1 is objectively good.
According to objectively, I'm trying to figure out. So is it like he's like, he's like
Demonic or
no? I
spiritual?
mean he's just like a horror version Elvis with a big drill bit on his guitar that's gonna go and murk some people.
Definitely in the second one, they doubled down really
Yeah.
on the music. They doubled down on the drill bits. Listen,
Yeah.
the first one was more of less gory, more drama kind of, but they still
Mm-hmm.
had some gore, but wasn't that bad. And it was just ridiculous, and it's enjoyable all the way. It's kind of scary. If you
Debatable.
don't-
Well, I
if
haven't
you
seen the first one, but
if you don't know scary tropes, like horror tropes, you don't get it, and you're gonna get kind of scared. But you, if you get the second one, they just double down on nonsense. It's ridiculous. It's nonsensical.
it's like how the Friday the 13th movies become more and more unbelievable as you go on.
Less, but way more ramped up. It went from Friday 13, the original, up to the first 3 was a really decent horror film, and then they ramped up. This one went from 1 to 1,000 right in the second film.
well, that was interesting. It was everything I expected that trailer to be.
You should watch
And
it.
more.
Everybody should watch it. For New Year's, everybody should watch this movie.
Yeah, or not. So let's move on to this next beer. So this next beer we got.
You're not gonna
is-
watch it?
I am not gonna watch that. It's Reindeer's Revolt.
It's fun for the whole family.
It
So-
is.
I can see that. I
So
must not watch
Reindeer
it.
Revolt. What style of beer is it?
This here beer is an English Christmas ale
Or a bitter.
Style.
or a bitter. So let's give it a shot. You know, let's be my first try right here. Let's give this a shot.
But it's been caught on camera trying it before.
Pinkies up, of course. So, definitely. This is okay. I wouldn't say this is like and how do I put this? It definitely lives up to the name, bitter, because it really tails out. Got a really strong like caramel in the beginning, like real strong caramel.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets real salty bitterness at the end. It's interesting. Like it's almost like it's not like one that I'm gonna be craving for sure, but it's definitely like one of those interesting kind of beers that Wow, that's what do you what's what you take on it? I'm kind of intrigued. Like I'm not like really enjoying it so much, but I'm intrigued.
I could fall on the same basis, but not really. Listen, the caramel grabs you. You smell. The moment you put the glass to your nose, you smell caramel. It smells sweet. It's like something you're excited to drink. The moment you take the sip, it's tails off super fast to being something real bitter at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. It's like a contrast of two worlds, man. It's okay. I mean, as far as a beer, it's not bad. It's way better than their stout and porter. Like I feel like tier 3, like their stout and porter is like tier 3 of shit.
Oh God,
And then like
that's not going in their advertising campaign.
I doubt it, but like this is like tier. This is like leaning towards tier 2. Like it's getting better.
Yeah,
It's like getting better.
yeah. I think it's an interesting beer. Like I'm not, like I said, I probably wouldn't be craving this or going out to buy this, but it's very interesting. The caramel notes are real strong, like you said, but it gets real bitter real quick, and it kind of it just switches. What do
That
you?
tail end, kind of puts me out on it.
It gets real
Yeah.
bitter at the end, right?
And it sticks with you.
It starts
That's the
vamping up,
thing.
and you taste like that salty
Yeah.
bitterness through, like at
Stays
the
on
end.
your tongue.
Yeah.
Stays on your tongue. I mean, listen, I would not be mad if you poured this for me, but I would, again, like Drew said, I wouldn't look for it. I wouldn't buy it, you know? It
Yeah.
wouldn't be something I'd be my Robert De Niro face. I don't know why I keep doing that lately. Now I tried to do a fake Robert De Niro. It looked worse.
I can't even do it. Huh?
Oh, man. No, man, it's I like the reference tier 2, tier 3, like the porter and stuff.
Of
like
shit?
Of shit. This is like it's like a tier 3, like this is a tier 2 of shit. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'll drink it.
I don't know.
I wouldn't like. You know what's a perfect example of this? Why you would drink this beer more often? Here's the deal. You know, in the middle of the night, if you're drinking at a bar, you had a few shots, you already had a few other beers.
Do I?
And we have been there.
Yeah.
No, then someone passes you this beer, and you're drunk and stupid. You're like, you know what? It's a fucking good beer because it smells like caramel. You won't know the taste at that point because you're drunk.
That's true. The beer is gonna taste good and smell good, because you're drunk at that point.
Mhm.
Also, the girl you're there with at the bar, she's gonna look real
Look
pretty.
a lot cute at that time
She's gonna
too.
look real pretty. You wake up next day,
What a night fighter.
you're gonna dump out the rest of your Ridgeway.
This beer's a 9, and so is Bessie.
Oh my god, it's I don't know anything about Ridgeway, and I don't mean them any disrespect. It's just it's okay beer. It's okay beer, man.
Yeah, like I said, I've not really had a style real similar to this. So it's interesting. It's intriguing to me. Like I think it's an interesting
Exactly.
one to try, and it's a good one to get under the belt and to. It's not too strong, 6%, so it'll got a little bit,
It'll
but
get you
nothing too strong. But yeah, man.
I mean, you know what I give them for Ridgeway or the brewery itself. You know what points I give them? Uniqueness. The beer definitely tastes unique. It's different. Now, as far as good or bad, it's depending on your taste. For me, I'm giving them more on leaning the bad side, but it's unique. It's different. Like I've never had an ale taste like this. I've never had a stout that tastes like the one we just had, or a porter. Like it's unique. It's unique. It's different. So I give them to that. You know, at least they trying.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're a big company or a small company. It's different.
Yeah. Interesting.
Don't hate me, Ridgeway. I have nothing but love for you.
Don't hate him though.
Still number one. My tier ones. With
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
It's not Martin House.
Oh yeah.
The Bitter Sisters, Manhattan Project, Abita.
All those good ones. Yeah. Interesting.
Tier 1 of love. Then I have tiers of shit. You know, like another way of Victor's 3 tiers of enjoyment, 3 tiers of shit. You have like a chart of beers and shit.
We need to have like some play with the green screen a little bit here and
Yeah, we start charting like tier 3 of shit. You have like these Ridgeway beers we tried, and then like tier 2.
Yeah. It's
The
yeah.
salty lady.
My and I'm not trying to hate, but it's been like okay beers. Like they're decent. The first two are pretty drinkable. This one's interesting.
I think they're all interesting.
I probably
though,
wouldn't
right?
go back for a second one if I was to have the option.
Mhm.
But overall, decent. But
I think
average.
I think they're all they taste different. They're unique. I mean, I give them. I don't want to keep hopping on that. We could switch the subject, but I don't. But is it hating when you're giving your opinion on what you enjoy and don't enjoy? Is it hating if you truly don't enjoy it, and you have no feelings either way about a person or a company, like, is it hating? I hate that word. You hating on their music or hating on their style. Like, if I don't enjoy it, I don't enjoy it. I don't.
No, it depends. I think maybe like comes from how you say it, or I'm not saying you specifically in general, like
No,
the
no.
idea of I guess how somebody says it.
If I'm not making it personal, I'm like,
yeah,
yo, Andrew, I fucking hate that shit. Fuck out of here. Fuck you, Drew. Like,
Mhm.
that's
I hear that a lot at work, guys. I hear that a lot at work.
I mean, I wasn't trying to bring that up. I'm sorry. No, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like, so perfect example, Ridgeway.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know anything about them. I don't have anything against them. I have no stake for them to fail, but I just don't enjoy it. I'm just stating my opinion of what I enjoy in a beer, and I just don't. As the ones I've tried, they're not bad. Like, oh, burn this shit to the ground. It's unique, and within that uniqueness, I'm not finding what I enjoy.
Yeah, I think you kind of put it before. You see what they're trying to do, but it's not for you.
Yeah.
Who would you burn to the ground, Victor?
Ooh.
Who wouldn't I burn?
There you go. That's the Victor I know. There he is. So interesting. Does anybody have any good plans coming up for Christmas? What's the Christmas tradition at everybody's house in honor of all these festive Ridgeway brews we have going on today?
You know, I've always been interested about that. Zay, I like it. You guys, my family, and I found out like a lot of Latin people do is we stay up till midnight, partying, drinking, and then open gifts at midnight. I don't know. I just enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, we or my family's part German, and so it's kind of German tradition that we don't necessarily stay up till midnight, but we do open our gifts the night before Christmas Day. We do our Christmas on Christmas Eve, for the most part.
So yeah, I grew up. My mom is white, and my dad's Native American. But growing up, we would basically wait till Christmas Day, like in the morning. So Christmas Eve comes, you're sitting there eyeing up all the presents you've been waiting for all month, and you gotta wait till the next day. And then I come out to find out there's a lot of people that do that, where they have it on the 24th, where they have Christmas Eve, they get to open up presents, or some people do like they'll open up like one present. But some people open up all their presents, get it out of the way, and so Christmas Day you just spend it just kind of like doing your thing. I'd be so mad because I'm like, Mom, let us open up those presents. Looking good. There's just one. That big one over there looks good. I'll open up that one.
Well, it's worked out well because one side of my family does Christmas traditionally on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But the side that we end up spending more time with usually is the one that does it on Christmas Eve. So we're able to kind of like split our time between them.
That's true. That's a good way.
That's a good way of doing it. If you have that, I feel. And I don't. Well, I don't want to be sound racist. Your wife is Latin. I feel like that's a very Latin. In my experience,
it is. No, yeah, exactly.
In my experience, talking to Latin people.
Straight up. So, yeah, it's the same way with my wife's family. They open up all their stuff on the night before, on Christmas Eve. They open it up all then
At midnight, or
they don't even wait till midnight. I mean, it's arbitrary.
It is arbitrary.
Yeah, it's Christmas. It's 24th. It's fair game. 25th. You spend
But do they have dinner and like drink together and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, come on, everybody is down with that. I mean, my mom's down to drink and everything too, so we're all down with that.
We're all down with that.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. This is a beer show. We're all down to drink.
Now there is a fairly recent tradition in my immediate family where my mom has me make a batch of Christmas margaritas.
I heard it. You told us about this. Was it? I don't know if it was
like
last
a few
year.
weeks ago.
No, I think before when we were at the old studio. He told us about.
Yeah.
At some point, you told us about you had to whip up. You had to go through a big, arduous journey of making because it was pretty intensive, like all the stuff that went into it.
Yeah, I make them from scratch, and
That's
so when you make them from scratch, you can go and buy your own sour, which works as the base, or you can just make your own sour, and the actual making of the sour is fairly intensive because when you make it, you have to then refrigerate it and let it sit for a while.
It's a lot of Sour Patch Kids, if I remember correctly.
Yes, well, a lot of eggs that you have to separate the yolk out of because you need the egg whites but not the yolk, and that is probably the most pain in the ass part of the whole process.
Especially if you crack the yolk, right?
Yeah, then you're like, okay, well, I just need.
Man, maybe we should
use
have
another egg.
maybe we should have Ziggs make us some margaritas for this final 2-hour
special.
possible-
We're having plug.
dun
Plug.
dun dun.
I mean, I like that tradition, Zig. You know, making margaritas. I like that. What my family did was we go to a friend's house or a family member's house or our house, and what we do is, and why I like New Year so much, it was like a pregame for New Year's because we will party, we'll eat, we'll drink, and we all the kids will play, all the adults will gamble or play cards, whatever they were doing. Oh, whatever they were doing. And then we have a countdown at midnight when the clock turns like 59. We're like, oh, everybody gets here about the countdown and then open the gifts, and that was pretty like New Year's kind of thing. Where everybody opens gifts, then we go home. Shortly after that, we'll go home if we're not at our house already, and open the rest of our gifts at the house.
See, I like that because even though you still technically are up for that the Christmas Eve, it's still technically 25th. So like technicality rules, and you guys get it on Christmas Day. So
technically at midnight. Yeah. But then we go to sleep for a few hours. This is how I remember it. We as kids we'll go to sleep for maybe an hour or 2, 3 hours at max, and then wake up at like 6, 7 in the morning and go play with our stuff while the adults get to sleep. And they don't have to be there to watch open the gifts because they were there. Now they get to sleep in a little bit. As long as you don't burn the house down, they're sleeping.
It's interesting. Let's finish up this beer. I got one more to crack open, or we do, and then I got a couple more questions about Christmas-related stuff for you guys. So while it gets to pouring, what's one of the ones that I have that sticks out in my mind? What's y'all's favorite Christmas you guys have ever had? What's gifts or anything in particular? What's the best Christmas you guys remember as a kid, or even recently? Like what's your best memory of Christmas time?
I've talked about this on the show before. My favorite memory falls into my favorite birthday memory. When I got my PlayStation.
Okay.
My mom apparently, and this thanks to this me telling the story here. My mom watched the show. Shout out to mom. She apparently what she used to do was I was a very quiet kid. I never like really begged for much. I mean, I was a kid. It was annoying to ask for shit, but I never really begged for anything or really said I wanted this for Christmas or birthdays or anything like that. But what she would say, she would watch me and she said every time the PlayStation commercial would come in on TV, she said I would get super happy, and then she knew I wanted that. So for my birthday, she worked her magic and magically got me a PlayStation 1. But just the box. It didn't come with anything else. It came with a demo game and a controller. And I played the shit out of that. And then I never asked for games either because I was like, I didn't know what games was out there. I was super happy with my birthday. I got the game, the demo. I played the shit out of all these demos. There was Ghost in the Shell, there's Crash Bandicoot. There was a few other demos on there. And I loved every minute of it. I played it all the time.
So the PlayStation.
The PlayStation 1. That was my birthday. What leads into my favorite Christmas story was a few weeks later, Christmas coming because my birthday's in December.
December 1st.
Shout
Anybody
out.
want to send out some gifts to Victor? Easiest birthday to remember.
The first. Then my godfather took me to buy me an actual game for the PlayStation, which was Metal Gear Solid. Came out for the PlayStation 1, and he bought it, and then we bought the strategy guide and a memory card, and we played it together. And then he was like, hey, you want to play? He started playing first. I'm like, no, I want to watch you play.
Yeah.
And we stayed up all night, and he beat the game.
Dang.
And I watched him play it. I was like, that was great.
Skills.
It's a great game.
All night.
We stayed up, played for a solid 10, 12 hours. It's a short game in retrospect. And we didn't get everything that we needed to get. You know, we kind of just came through it.
Yeah.
But we beat it. It was phenomenal. It was like kind of my favorite story that fits into me because it wasn't on Christmas, but it was like a week before Christmas.
Yeah. And I do know, knowing you personally, I know that you're a very, very big Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the basis and foundation of you becoming a Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah, definitely.
And a kind of a gamer in general, maybe?
That's when I started playing more video games. Yeah.
Yeah. But you, Ziggy, what's any good holiday memories stick out for you?
I have one that's also video game related. I can't remember what I had done, but I think I was bugging my cousins that were visiting or something, so I got in trouble over the Christmas break, and the punishment they had given me was
drink a lump of coal.
Like no video games for a month.
Oh.
And so Christmas Eve, we have our gifts and stuff that we open, and so we open all that, and I got like a Game Boy game. And so my mom said, well, you know, you can't play that. And I was like heartbroken. She goes, okay, well, here's what we'll do. You've been good the last couple days, so if Santa brings you a video game system, you can play video games. And then the next day I wake up and I got an N64. I was like, thank you, Santa.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
So it was like just a relief. And
Yeah.
then looking back, of course, it's like, oh, I see what happened there.
Yeah, we
But,
knew that was coming, Mom. Now in retrospect, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So the whole N64 stuff, that kind of ties into my favorite Christmas that I have, and the Game Boy too, actually. So we might be brothers. Who knows? So my mom, single mom. We grew up, just my brother and I, not super rich, fairly poor by most standards, right? But my mom did a really good job of having a lot of Christmas presents and stuff under the tree and stuff for us while we were growing up. So we had, good Christmases here and there, had all the, stuff we wanted for the most part. But we had this one Christmas, and I'm notorious, even to this day, not so much to this day, but I kind of want to know what my gift is before I get it. So I used to go hunt around the house when I was younger. I would go search everywhere because I knew my mom hid the present somewhere.
Okay.
And I would go always try to find them.
One of those kids. Got it.
Yeah, and I would go try to find it, and that was like my big investigative journey, right? And so we lived in this one apartment here in Texas when we kind of first moved to Texas, and so there was a limited amount of space. It was a 3-bedroom apartment. There was only a limited amount of space where she could have hid stuff. I turned the whole house apartment upside down looking for it and whatnot. Couldn't find a thing, and then I had this idea like, let me check her trunk of her car. So I snatched the keys up when she wasn't looking at some point, and I opened up the trunk, and then cue the music, and then in the trunk was not only a Game Boy Color with a couple of Pokemon Red and Blue version games in it, was an N64, that those big box packages that came in with the controllers and the game that it came featured with or whatever and whatnot, and then a bunch of other stuff. So that was like the big gifts that I found, and so that was the one that I remember. And I had to play it cool, had to act super surprised in the morning. She never knew. I don't even think she knows to this day, but that's my favorite one. So
What an asshole.
I have a similar Christmas story involving a trunk of the car, and I think that you'll really enjoy this one. So one July, I'm just sitting in my room, and my mom knocks on my door, and she opens it up, and I'm like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something. She goes, well, I bought these for you for Christmas, but I was cleaning out the trunk of my car, and I didn't even realize that I had lost them. And so here you go. And she handed me a movie and a video game. that she had gotten.
Nice.
And she was like, yeah, I didn't even realize that you didn't get them, but I found them just now. So half a year later.
Wow.
They
The
pop
gifts
up.
keep coming.
That is a hashtag belated gift.
Hashtag blessed.
It blew
Hashtag
my
belated
mind. I was
blessed.
like, really? Really? You don't
Wow.
have a list that you're checking off? Of
At that point, is it obligatory for her to wrap it, or at least put it in a gift bag to still
I
offer
would-
to you?
that would be the biggest pain in the ass. You know what? Just hold them till next Christmas. at
Right.
this
She
point.
could have.
She could have saved us some money, but nah, she was a trooper. She's like, you know what? I forgot. Is you? That's a good midway gift.
That's like she bought you a Furby, forgot to give it to you. A year later, they're
Fuck
out of
Furbies.
style.
Oh,
Furby?
no.
What? This
Oh.
was so last year, Mom. Yeah, well,
man.
fuck me. I forgot it in the back of the trunk. All right.
Furbies were so terrible.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And then the gotcha toys, whatever the gotcha. man.
Tamagotchis?
Tamagotchis.
Oh man, I was big on the Tamagotchis.
You have to slap that kid out of kids' hands in school, in
That's-
elementary school.
That's disrespectful.
They were like,
That is the appropriate reaction to that.
that is disrespectful. Those are Hershey Kiss poops you had to clean up.
bah, slap that shit.
Yeah, but Tamagotchi died.
The Tamagotchi was government propaganda to increase teen pregnancy rates and to get young people used to the idea of caring for other humans because the birth rates were
Nah.
declining.
Hashtag America.
Hashtag facts.
Hashtag. Yeah. Let's drink
That's
this
why
beer.
I'm just drinking this beer. Very
Hashtag,
bad elf.
We have a very bad elf that we poured throughout all this holiday cheer and remembrance.
One last hashtag before we talk about very bad elf. Hashtag to our moms for taking care of us. And
I think you're
doing
gonna say hashtag talking to the influence, but yeah, hashtag
moms is
moms.
more important than that one.
Moms is what it's all about.
I'm glad that you did not concatenate those and make it hashtag talking under our moms.
Oh, that just sounds all.
It sounds
sorts
like
of
something I
wrong.
would do. It sounds like something I really would do.
That sounds.
The
that
worst
sounds,
mashup ever.
sounds very Alabama-esque.
Sounds like
Something.
Missouri-esque.
Yeah.
Anyway, very bad
I
elf.
can't believe he lost.
Oh
honestly.
man.
Very
Sessions.
bad elf. Is a
drink this
special
sessionable
reserve
beer.
ale.
Yeah. Let's get a shot. Kind of bright, kind of hoppy, a little bitter.
No smoky taste to it.
It might be a very bad elf, but I'm thinking it's a very good beer.
Hey, I think you pocketed that one away for a little bit there, Ziggs. That's a good one. Yeah, this one's probably my favorite out of all of them that we've had this far. Except for, I think, honestly, the lump of coal was good. But I think I like the Santa's Butt Porter probably the most.
I like none of them besides the Very Bad Elf. Like, I think 1 for 3 for me. 1 for 4, I mean. 1 for 4. Very Bad Elf, it's an interesting ale. It's an interesting one. It's not. It's hard for me. I have horrible taste. Like
yeah, it's kind of. If I can kind of take over a little bit there, it's kind of got like a bright hoppiness to it, some bitterness, and I got a little nose of caramel as well. Not a big like alcohol presence for it
Not
being
at all.
7.5. You know, it is what it is.
7.5. You don't get you drunk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also smooth, man. Like this, if you buy me this beer, I would drink another one.
Yeah, this one's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Go Ridgeway, finally.
Yeah.
see.
You've been wanting to cheer them on because of the labels for a while.
See, I love the labels. Oh my god, I love the labels. How many beers they at Ridgeway have? Like they have listed like what, 40 beers?
It's over 9,000. I think that's what they said. So very, very good.
Sounds about right? You know, 9,000.
Mm-hmm.
A brewery with 9,000 beers on tap. They're ready to go.
Yeah, they call that Sand Brewery. I think that's what they call
Sand
it.
Brewery.
Sand Brewery. So another question, kind of getting back to the Christmas stuff.
Wait,
do you
buy this beer?
Yeah.
Buy Very Bad Elf.
Buy
every holiday special.
Buy me this beer.
Buy us this beer.
Buy us this beer.
Or buy us any beers you want us to try. Send it to us. How about that?
Some of those Trillium beers that everyone's going bananas about. Some hazy
IPAs.
IPAs.
New England IPAs.
Man, we need to make some friends or have a transplant over there that works over there.
We need friends in both coasts that send us some beers.
Yeah. Everyone send it out here to Texas.
Please.
But I had a question. And this kind of got brought up by Tina before. So stockings. You know, everybody does stockings, kind of stereotypical stuff. What consists of a stocking for you guys? So I know some people do it like stocking stuffer being like something real expensive, and they put stuff in there. For me, growing up, you know, I had somebody was telling me, should I, you know, I was gonna put like this movie in here and this and this and this, and because it's a stocking stuffer, and I'm like, I don't know if that for me qualifies as a stocking stuffer because it's real expensive gift. That should be wrapped up and put on the tree. For me, a stocking stuffer was like some candy, you know, a bunch of like Reese's or whatever. I'm a big fan of Andes mints, so my mom always gets me Andes mints. Those ones are good, you know, stuff like that. Something real small.
Well, so it's kind of mixed bag for me because growing up we never had stocking stuffers. Like we never had one. But when my mom moved to Texas and I was like ever since here, we've had stocking stuffers. So for that, it's like trinkets, little things.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, for my mom, the last 10 years, it's always been like we had a stocking stuffer. It's always like a deck of cards, some candy, small stuff, like dollar store kind of stuff.
Yeah. We nowadays I get lotto tickets, and that's probably my favorite stocking stuffer. Some scratch off hashtag scratch offs.
Millionaires. Zig, what about you? What is stocking stuffers?
We got like a little bit of candy here and there, but we got a lot of fruits, and that was from my grandma because she grew up in rural Texas, and so for Christmas they did like apples and oranges and things like that,
Really?
and pecans and almonds and things like that.
That's kind of interesting.
So we got a lot of that, and then we'd also get more of like the kind of essentials for Christmas. So like you'd get socks or underwear in your stockings.
Yeah, I
or
know about that.
toiletries, so like toothpaste and deodorant and things like that. That would all be in the stockings because we have stockings that my grandma made.
Right? Same here.
Yeah, and so
Same
like,
here.
huge, long ass stockings.
So was your grandma a knitter? Because my grandma did stitching.
My grandma was of the knitting persuasion. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So same here with mine. Yeah, she has. My mom, my brother, and I. We each had like a knitted one. Which this over here, he's not down with the stitching. But
I don't know about that. My grandmother made her own clothes.
Hey.
How about that? She had 14 kids. So
we need another hashtag, and that's hashtag grandmas. All right.
Shout out to grandmas. Too,
Yeah.
man. Like,
So But it's been a good, interesting show overall with Ridgeway. What your overall thoughts, Victor?
I mean,
you need to try more to kind of get a better feel of it.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have over 40 beers ready to be shipped out, you know, there's more to try. Just small palette for like a specialty kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling it, and this small sample size, I wasn't really happy about them overall. But the Very Bad Elf brought it in, you know, because it was
Finish on a good note.
yeah, it's a very unique beer. It's not a typical what we call reserve ale or just an ale. It's different, and I liked it. And they all their beers has been different that we tried, so I like it. It's different. I want to try more from Ridgeway. I want to maybe have them on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Skype maybe
Call in.
via England. I mean, I think maybe
They can fly. They got money. The guy, look, you seen his leather picture? Like he has a leather jacket. He can fly in.
that's right.
Fly
When you
in.
got a leather jacket, you got money. That's
You
a
got
fact. That's a fact.
money. What
That's
about
a
your
fact.
opinion on Ridgeway?
Me?
Yeah.
I liked it overall. I think it was pretty generic beers in the general sense for me. I think the ones that I've tried thus far haven't been too super stellar that stuck out to me in a certain way, but they've all been drinkable in their own ways. I really appreciate each of them for each of their individual aspects. But yeah, there's nothing that's really been like, I'm going to crave that later on.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. So far.
That's me. But I'm always down to try more. If anyone wants to ship some out to us, I'm down with that. But yeah, on that note, we're going to roll up out of here, go make some business moves, try some more beers, and get back to you guys.
Facts.
It's been a fun week. And you got anything else to add there, Victor?
On that note, big ups to my dad. He's watching right now. So much love. Also, listen, we have a 2-hour special next week. We're gonna have our friends Diego and Jennifer Jones on the show, and we're gonna have a holiday special. We're gonna have maybe some sangria mix. We're gonna have some coquitos, some eggnogs. We're gonna maybe whatever we pick up here, maybe a beer because this is a beer show.
Got a couple left.
We got a couple left. But tune in, 2-hour special. We're doing we're vamping up our Instagram, vamping up our website. So listen, we got more information coming to you guys. I do appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't get too drunk. Ziggy, anything else to add to this?
You can always catch me every Thursday at 8:30 at the Backdoor Comedy Club, every Saturday at 8 and 10:15, where I will probably be hosting the late show at the Backdoor Comedy Club. And guys, I'm pretty excited. Well, maybe excited is the wrong word. I got to work with Tim Allen.
Again?
I did,
Again?
yeah.
Oh my! What happened this time?
So we just finished shooting a movie. It's a Christmas themed movie.
Wait, a real one?
Another Santa movie,
it's a
right?
real one. It's a real one. So Tim Allen murders the owner of a charitable organization, and through a cruel twist of fate, has to take over that charitable organization and continue running it.
Is it? Wait, is it Slumber Party Massacre?
No, it's called the Santa Claus.
Anyways, guys, we'll see y'all next week for that 2-hour special. Don't forget, as always, # Talking Under the Influence, and we'll
Facts.
see y'all next week.
Next week, everybody
Deuce.
be careful, get drunk. Don't-